Okay, hello, and welcome to the short addendum video. This is rather unscripted. I have a few topics that I would like to talk about because the essay was obviously written as a joke, and so it was missing a few things, but I figured there was a few things I would like to speak on to kind of clarify some points and obviously point out some major flaws. I don't know, just as fun. So, first off, basically, obviously, not actual research took the first thing I said, then the thing, and stuff like I don't have a Crunchyroll account. I'm pretty sure Crunchyroll has parental controls. If they didn't, I'd be very surprised. But I'm not buying a Crunchyroll account to find that out. I'm sorry. And stuff like I don't, the comments and stuff, that was obviously cherry picked, and I don't really care what people comment or think, and commenting and thinking about something different it's a very selective amount of few people will ever comment about the greater amount of people who will watch something. So stuff like me taking that comment, it's really not a big showing or a big revealing of something. Okay, so my first thing is that I said in the video that if it was just good, right, I wouldn't care about there being sex in it. And I do want to clarify that a bit. Basically, I feel that the movie was there to hold the sexual and fetish content of it, rather than that stuff being in the movie to drive the plot. It's a balance. It's all subjective. It's filmmaking. It's animation. It's all art. But I think the movie would have been infinitely better, if you cut out all the weird sexual stuff beforehand and afterwards and all that stuff, and just left in the one scene that I think was fine and tied into the rest of the movie was the beach scene where they wash off the ticks on the beach, and the girl goes up to the guy and manipulates him with sex. That character's whole thing was being sexual and raunchy or something. That's not the right word to describe it, but you know what I mean. So if that was the only sex scene in the film, it would have been a fine film. You cut out the two girls in that beach scene too, because I don't really think that doesn't really come into play into the plot later on, other than a random run-off line. You could have just had them sitting on the beach or something, and you could still have the same dynamic where the one girl comes up, the idol girl, right, and acts all scared, and she's like, "Oh, protect me," but really she's using the other girl to thing. You could still have that dynamic. You don't need them to have weird, awkward lesbian sex. And then if you change the latest scene, and this was the worst scene, if you change the latest scene to about they're in the hospital, they lock up the other people, and the one girl's pinning down the one who just woke up from paralysis, and the guy's coming in and he's unbuckling her, and she's like, "Yeah, have sex with her, put her in her place, shut her up." the premise of it being that the girl is coming out from paralysis, right? So, if the other girl is pinning her down and say like, quickly kill her, not like quickly rape her, I it you change that to that, and obviously you make the corpses that were being eaten by Maddox that's thing, and you cut out the 2 second like close up, extreme close up on the panties and the girl pissing. It would have been just a decent to fine, forgettable, mediocre movie. And you could have had the one scene of the girl and the guy doing it, and that's the only scene of it in the film, and it'd be fine. Legitimately, if it was just that, I would not have a problem with it. It would be like any other R-rated film. It's just the fact that this was so clearly fetish content. Not that there's not a problem with fetish content, but the fact that, man, this was just hentai. Just because you censored all the bits doesn't make it not hentai. It's still hentai. Anyways, yes, I do want to give this movie a kind of almost participation trophy. It wasn't that racist. That racist. I don't like. They had the one character who had a darker skin tone than all the other characters in it, and he was played normally. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be a tan or thing, because he also had like the dreadlocks and stuff. So I think, and it wasn't as bad as like the Soul Eater bass player from that's a terrible black caricature. But I'll throw it a bone. It wasn't like racist like a lot of other, like, even like traditional horror films are. Like I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about Christine, and it's been a while since I watched that movie, so I could be wrong, but the only black character in that film that I can think of is the one at the start of the movie where they're on the assembly line and the guy's like, "Oh, this car is something wrong with you. You want to check it out?" And the black guy gets in the car and dies. He's the first one that dies, even before the credit, like the title sequence. And this film didn't do that, and it wasn't very, so it's a little participation trophy. Of course, I am a white person saying this, so fuck me. And also, while once I saw the pants pissing, like the panties pissing, I was more focused on what the fuck this thing was doing weirdly sexually than paying really attention to the race stuff. But it was at least decent in that department, so throw it a bone there. Though, of course, it was very sexist and male-gazy, as most porn tends to be. Oh yeah. The other thing that pisses me off with this movie, it ended on a cliffhanger. It was like, ooh, part 2. They're gonna make a part 2 movie. If they swear, if they make a part 2 movie, I guess I have to watch it at this point. But man, I mean, it's not as bad as an ending as like a movie that's like toilet paper is cheap but life is expensive. It's not as an insulting ending as that, or as flattening as an ending of like I don't know, Monkey Island 3. To me, that game, like, I sat through that game was really racist. It used slurs, and I sat through that, right? And then you get to the end, it's like a 30-second cutscene, and the game quits itself. Whereas opposed to, like, it didn't even do the thing with the other two Monkey Island games where it does the little things where it's like, go wash your car, go easy. And it's like, like, that one fell so flat for me. I sat through such a shit game. And then to get that ending, it just was so, the ending this one wasn't flat, or it wasn't insulting. It was more like, really? It was more surprising that they were going to make the thing. I mean, I mean, if it does come out, I mean, it released last year. That was a last year movie. If it released last year, and they do make a new one, then fuck it. At this point, I gotta see it. But really, I don't think you need to split up porn into two things. But who knows? What am I to say? Oh yeah, and the last thing I want to mention is I don't mention anything in the main thing about there being cultural or like, differences in how like this is Japanese media and how, the culture which a media is made obviously as a thing. Which I guess I kind of went into that with the one article being like, oh, this is just how anime is. But I don't know. I feel like if we're sexualizing like high school kids, someone should be able to say that that's bad. I'm not gonna be all fucking. Is it XQC? I don't know if it's XQC or Asmongold, this person who said they have an inferior culture. I think that was Asmongold. They have an inferior culture and stuff. I'm not going to say that. No one has that. It's all different. But also, we can point out and say some things that like, hey, this should be permissible. Like, if this is permissible, and sure, I don't think that fetish content or sexual content or porn shouldn't be made, because I'm sure there's somebody out there who says stuff like, Rocky Horror Picture Show shouldn't be made, or Funeral Parade of Roses. That's a Japanese film that I really like. I mean, I don't think stuff like that should, I really love Godzilla. Like, but that's not like weird fetish stuff. Or porn, or have like nudity in it. Whereas, like, I don't think that there should be a thing where, like, if somebody wants to make something, they should be able to make it. But also, this should have been on a porn site. It's jerk off material, and you can tell the difference between something that was made, again, for the purposes of jerking off to, or something that was made for the purposes of somebody had a really cool idea. Again, it's all subjective, and it's also a thing. But anyways, that was just my little addendum video. I think that's about it.